I'm Erica, and I'm from the beautiful islands of the Philippines. I have been in Toronto for more than 2 years, and I'm loving it here. Back home, I was a licensed professional nurse, but I started working in the airport servicing the airline flag carrier of Abu Dhabi. After that, I worked at a bank assurance firm, which is part of the AIA group. And then I pursued my career in aviation industry. That is why I became an international flight attendant for the airline flag carrier of Saudi Arabia. I'm holder of Bachelor of Science in Nursing, and then I recently graduated from Toronto School of Management, acquiring the advanced diploma in hospitality and tourism management co-op. I guess Toronto chose me. I love the diverse community we have here. During my 2 years of stay, I felt like I was at home. The people are very welcoming, and it is so easy to embrace the culture. I chose Niagara College Toronto because of the reputation of the school and the downtown location. I remember back home, I was eyeing for certain schools, and Niagara College was on the list. Now that they have a school here in Toronto, I certainly chose to study here. Imagine that I will be getting a Niagara College credential while staying here in Toronto. And after I graduate, I will be eligible to apply for a postgraduate working permit. That sounds super perfect to me. I was assisted by the best advisors I could ever have. Shout out to Tejas and Ganesh. They really helped me to smoothly transition. They were there to assist me even during late hours, and they really extended their service. I am leveling up my studies, that is why I'm going to take the Hospitality and Tourism Management Graduate Certificate with Niagara College Toronto. You know what? I'm trying to start my own business and build a restaurant here in Toronto, or even a restaurant chain. For me, with the strong international education, I will be able to execute my plans easily and make my dreams come to reality. Well, I am working now as a marketing intern for both Keystone and Niagara College Toronto. So during the early days, I still remember I started studying at Keystone and I volunteered a lot. And luckily, I became a student ambassador. Perhaps with all the hard work, they recognized my passion for working. That's why I was able to land a job, and now I'm working with my very own school. Of course, I want to be a permanent resident here and later on to be a citizen of Canada. As I work on those goals, I'm trying to own a restaurant chain and to be an expert in digital marketing. Well, it is free to do it, so why not to dream today? I 100% recommend Niagara College Toronto. And my advice to all the dreamers out there is like me, as I always tell myself, believe and it will happen. Believe that you can. Believe that it is possible. It may be a hard and long journey, but hard work pays off. Eventually, we're going to get there, and all your dreams will happen. Pilipinas at mga babayan kong mahal, ako si Erica, and I'm a Niagara College Toronto student.
Hi everyone, my name is Erica and I'm a student recruitment advisor with Niagara College Toronto. So my role is to help you by understanding your profile and the eligibility report. Based on that, I counsel you and I help you choose the right program for you to pursue. We can launched our virtual student lounge store. So all you have to do is get onto our website where you get to meet me and
Hi everyone, we're now here at Fastway Visa and Immigration Services, owned by Mr. Edward, and he's been there since processing the visa of my wife. Rhea was a group, was presented business and then leadership. Okay. And then she was there for 6 months, and now we have her US visa approved, good for 10 years. Again, all with the assistance of Mr. Edward. So thank you, Edward, and we hope that you guys come here to Fastway Visa Immigration Services. We highly recommend Mr. Edward for whatever needs. So thank you and good luck, guys. Bye bye.
Hi, hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Miss May. Miss May is here.
Good evening, Marvin.
Hi, good evening. Okay, good evening, everyone, especially those waiting so long. So before we start, I would like to introduce to you. My name is Marvin Martinez, a junior consultant at Fastway Visa and Immigration Service. So this event is why we live in Canada, why we start our life in Canada. So to discuss with this event, I will introduce to you the Niagara representative, Miss Maria Papa. Miss Maria Papa.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining tonight in our webinar. I'm going to start by presenting my screen so you can, immediately know about the school and how we're going to help you to process your student visa application to Canada. Okay, let me close my camera so I don't distract anyone. Please, everyone, mute your mic so everyone can concentrate on the presentation. Marvin, can you see my screen?
Yes, Miss May.
Okay. Okay. Again, my name is Maria May Papa, and I'm Business Development Manager of Niagara College Toronto. Okay, so tonight I'm going to discuss to you more about the school. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to discuss with you tonight about Niagara College Toronto program. Why study with Niagara College Toronto? Why Canada? Why Toronto? Admission requirements and application process, student services, career support, housing or accommodation, and then you can ask your questions later on. Okay, so these are the team who works for Niagara College Toronto. This is our Vice President, Marina, Director of Student Recruitment, Shannon, and Regional Director for Southeast Asia, Sandra. And these are my colleagues, all the business development managers who work for Niagara College Toronto around the world. This is me for the Philippines, and Vietnam, China, Korea, Nepal. We have India, we have Brazil, Mexico, and other parts of Latin America. Now, Niagara College Canada, in partnership with Toronto School of Management, now we have Niagara College Toronto campus. Okay, of course, after you finish your program with Niagara College Toronto, you're going to have Niagara College credentials. And of course, since we are a public school, all the programs that we are offering, it will give you the eligibility to apply for a post-graduation work permit or PGWP after you finish your program. Our location, of course, is Toronto. We're in the middle in downtown Toronto. This is one of the biggest city in the whole Canada. So our programs are the formal sort programs tailored to the location of the school. So we are more in business. We have business general. We have international business management. We have human resources management, and we have hospitality and tourism management. Okay, let's talk more about why you should study with the College Toronto. Of course, as an international student, you have to do your research. You have to check, of course, the country, the school. The location of the school is very important. And let me tell you, as an international student, the reality is you're going to face a lot of expenses, living expenses. So what are those living expenses? Okay, you need to pay for your transportation, of course. You need to pay for your food. You need to pay for your accommodation if you don't have any relative there. And the rest of the tuition fee. Because we offer installment for the tuition fee, but of course you still need to pay for it. Now, if the location of the school you're going to study is not like us, we're in the middle of the biggest city, one of the biggest cities in Canada. This is the business center, the center for tourism. You'll get unparalleled access already to the job opportunity in this location. If I may compare it to the Philippines like Makati or the BGC area. Okay, so that's the advantage in studying in the Niagara College School. Okay, imagine yourself studying in a school where the location is not like in a main city like Toronto. Okay, Canada is huge. Probably, okay, let's say in the countryside somewhere near the mountains or whatever. It's not in a location like us. So how are you going to get the job? Okay, you should know about that because you should think ahead, because at the end of the day, it's your life. Once you're there, you're the one who's going to live this life. So it's very important to think in advance and think about this important consideration and deciding where are you going to study. Now, again, we are in the pandemic now. So, considering the situation, pandemic, job is not as like before, of course. Plus, the location is not the main city. Then, again, it's going to be a problem. How are you going to sustain your living? Okay, so I hope you understand my point. The importance of knowing that the school that you're going to study is like us, where this is the center for business. You can apply a job immediately. You'll get unparalleled access to the job opportunities because the location is the center for business. Okay? And of course, Niagara College Toronto is located within the Education House Toronto. This is a 35,000 square feet space. We have a newly renovated classrooms. We have computer labs. We have state-of-the-art auditorium. We have student lounge, student-run cafe, and of course, we are offering high-quality programs, and we have world-class student services and career support, which I'm going to discuss with you in details later on the next slides. Okay, so another factor in deciding where you're going to study, of course, what is the school, you need to check the reputation of the school you're going to study. Okay, Niagara College was established in the 1950s, so nearly more than 60 years in existence. So, okay, meaning to say this is a very established institution, a public institution in Canada. Okay, if you're going to tell me why I am emphasizing public school, because a public school in Canada has a very high status. It's not like here in the Philippines, okay? Private has more status than the public school. It's another way around in Canada because the government is as simple as that. And of course, one of the benefits in studying in a public school in Canada will give you an eligibility to apply for a post-graduation work permit in the program that the school is offering. Okay? And we are the #1 Canadian research college. 91% of employers were very satisfied with the Niagara College graduates that they hired. So, meaning to say, if the Canadian employers sees your CVs, you graduated from Niagara College, there's always a high possibility that they're going to hire you. That's how good the reputation of Niagara College is. Okay. Of course, in terms of our student, their perspective, their experience, are they satisfied in studying in Niagara College? So we have to know about that. And I'm very proud to say that, we are ranked #1 college in student satisfaction for 8 consecutive years. Okay, 8 consecutive years we can write about this. And we are a leader among 24 other colleges in Ontario, Canada. So this is quite an achievement for us. Now, country. Of course, it's not the first time that, okay, I just want to join this webinar because I want to study in Canada. Probably you have attended a webinar for other countries, or whatever countries is popular for international study. But I tell you why you should choose Canada, okay? Most of the countries now are still closed, the border, so no one can enter the country. That, of course, applies to international students. Canada's border has been open since October 2020 last year. Meaning to say, if you get your visa, you're applying for the September intake, January intake, whatever intake, you can travel to Canada anytime before you start the intake. Okay, as simple as that. You're not gonna get stuck in the Philippines, like what other people are experiencing now. They get their visa already since last year to other countries. Until now, they're stuck in the Philippines because the border is still closed. You don't need to experience that by choosing Canada. And of course, Canada is currently the best country for quality of life. As an international student, once you get to Canada, you're going to experience this quality of life. So what is this quality of life? Because Canada is very rich, okay? So in terms of economy is very simple. In terms of the education, of course, you're going to study, you're going to get one of the best education qualification around the world, internationally recognized qualification, very affordable tuition fee, and of course, you're going to benefit as a permanent resident in the future to get a free access to the healthcare. Meaning to say you get hospitalized in Canada, no need to pay anything once you became a resident. That's how good the country is. Again, you're going to experience this one. Whether you start studying, you work, or you live in Canada. This is the life that awaits you in Canada. And Canada, of course, is considered one of the safest countries in the world, not just for international students, but for everyone. Crime rate is very low. And between 2009 and 2019, Canada created 1.8 million new jobs for graduates. Once you graduate in Canada, this is the life that you're going to have. Again, in terms of job opportunity, despite of the pandemic, it's not very hard to find a job. Okay? And of course, Canada is another positive. That's why many international students choose to immigrate to Canada because the program, especially in a public institution like us, give you an eligibility to apply for a post-graduation program. Okay, you try to apply to other countries. You see that they don't have like this kind of post-graduation work permit as direct, as good as Canada. I know that, and you can research that for yourself. Let's know more about Toronto. What's in Toronto? Because this is the location where our school is. This is the location again is in the heart of this big city, Toronto. So let's tell you more about Toronto. What's in Toronto? Okay. Aside from the fact that of course Toronto is one of the most multicultural cities in the world, the 250 nationalities working, studying, and living in Toronto. It is a very diverse city, of course. It's a very safe city. And with that 250 nationalities here in Toronto, some of them are Filipinos. Okay, so it's good to see that, okay, you come to the country, you don't have anyone, you don't have relatives, you don't know anybody, but you see someone from the Philippines, it's going to give you a feeling of comfort. And of course, Toronto is a major city for global finance and business. So this is the perfect location for you to step or move up into the career ladder in your dream job. This is just a border away, by the way, in USA, New York City. Okay? And Toronto is close to the brink of course of shopping centers, museum, galleries, restaurants, parks, and theaters. So there's always something to do in this city. You're not gonna get bored. Of course, during the weekdays, understandable, your daily activity would be, of course, studying, doing your part-time job. But at the end of the week, a Saturday or a Sunday, you need to at least give yourself a 1 day off to relax, to recharge, to come back next week, get motivated again, and you can start whatever activity in the next week. So again, there's always something to do in Toronto. This museum that I'm talking about, galleries, this is world-class galleries and museums. And when I talk about parks, especially if the weather is good on the summertime, springtime, you'll see cherry blossoms everywhere in the park. Instagrammable. And post it in your social media. Of course, we love that. Filipinos is #1 user of Facebook and other social media platforms these days. Okay? Summertime, a lot of things you can do in the park. It's not just a small piece of land, it's huge. Okay? In the middle of the city, imagine, there is this nature, combination of city and nature in one place. This is how nice Toronto is. It's not a populated city. It's not polluted city. Canada is huge. And traffic, of course, I don't think there's a traffic because this is a very big city. And anywhere in Canada, it's like, as long as you have your car first, you can travel anywhere. So if you want to go to the countryside, sometimes you can experience the life there and see nature at its best, of course, mountains and lots of nature, then you can do that. So again, you can come back to the city, do your routine, do your study. So this is the perfect location for you to live and study in Canada. Now we'll talk about the programs. There's two categories for the programs that we have. We have undergraduate diploma and we have postgraduate certificate. For the undergraduate diploma, so who are the people who's qualified to take this program? If you are undergraduate, K-12, or in the old curriculum, but if you graduated from the old curriculum high school, we're requiring you to at least have a second year college qualification. It's either a vocational program for 2 years or any associate program for 2 years, then you can apply for this program. This is for 2 years. It takes 3 times a year. We have January, May, and September. Tuition fee is about 8,087.60 per term or per semester. So if you're going to ask me how much is the total tuition fee, you times it by 4 because there's 4 terms in 2 years. So that's the total tuition. We don't write it here for the total because we just need you to pay 8,087.60 to pay the 1 term only of your tuition. The rest of the tuition fee again, you can pay it installment once you're in Canada. Now, you ask me, can you give us like what other schools offering, like maybe 3,000, 2,000 Canadian dollar deposits? We don't do that. We always ask for a 1-term payment because we want to secure you on visa. Niagara College, very proud to say that we have a very high rate of visa approval, and we want to maintain that. Your main goal at the end of the day, after your application admission to the school, of course, is to get a visa. Otherwise, you don't get to Canada, you don't get to study in high school. As simple as that. Having said that, we're gonna ask straight away for the tuition fee of 8,087.60. There's a deadline. Once we issue an acceptance of letter or the LOA, the letter of acceptance, you will see the deadline for your tuition fee payment. You just need to pay 100 Canadian dollar for the admission application to the school through Fastway. But since you attend our webinar tonight, you're going to waive that. Don't need to pay anything. So I hope that's clear. Wala kayong babayaran. Okay? You need to apply only, submit your academic documents, as I'm going to discuss later on, the details of the admission requirements, that's it. Whether you decide for September, January, again, there's a deadline for the payment of the tuition fee. So I hope that's clear. After you finish this program, you can be a business analyst, customer or corporate service representative, entrepreneur, frontline production supervisor. You can work in the government or non-profit role, or a marketing specialist. This career opportunities is not only limited to this once you finish the program. This is just an example. Once you're there, any job opportunity that suits your qualification, then of course you can apply. Now we go to our graduate certificate program. So in this one, the first one is international business management. So who are the people who's qualified to apply for international business management? The good news, anyone can apply for this program as long as you have a bachelor degree. Now, there's a specific program, or if you're going to apply in Canada, you cannot choose anything, because you want it. It should be always based on your educational background and your work experience. That's how it works. It matters because when you apply for your visa and you insisted on applying of a certain program and you cannot justify it, there's no relevance at all. And what you were doing in terms of study or in terms of education, in terms of work experience, then you're not going to get a visa. So the good news again, international business is a general program that basically anyone can take if you have a bachelor degree. Now, we have a lot of Filipinos who has a very contrasting background. Meaning to say, I will give you a good example. Nursing graduate, working in a call center or working in another industry not related to healthcare at all. It's very common to the Philippines because of the limitation of the job opportunities. So we are forced to work into another industry because there's no availability of the job. Now, if you're in this situation, you're an IT graduate working in a different field, or even in the IT industry, or you're an engineer, or a pharmacy, or whatever occupation you have in the business, or whatever degree that you have, again, International Business Management can apply for this program. This is a very practical program. It's only for 1 year. 3 times a year at intake 10. It's January, May, and September. Tuition fee is 8,357.35. Once you finish this program, you can apply as a custom broker, distribution and logistic administrator, foreign trade consultant specialist, can work in import as or export manager, international banker, international marketing and sales associate. Again, not only limited to these career opportunities, you can apply for any occupation that you're qualified once you finish this program in Canada. Now we go to the second program. Second program is Human Resources Management. On this one, we should be kind of specific. First, is you should have an educational background related to human resources management, or you're a psychology graduate. If not, you should have at least an experience related to human resources management, minimum of at least 2 years working in the industry. Then, if you have that qualification, you can apply for this program. This is another 1 year, 3 intakes in a year, January and September. Tuition fee is 1 term, 8,357.35. Then, once you finish this program, you can apply as benefit coordinator, compensation specialist, a human resource generalist, a labor relations officer, occupational health and safety coordinator, and so on. Again, not only limited to this career opportunities that I'm mentioning to you. And to give you an idea, this is a very, very good program to study. If you have the qualification, I highly suggest to take this program. Why? Because once you finish this, and you apply for a job in Canada, this is one of the highest paid occupations in Canada. Now we go to the third program. So this one, hospitality and tourism management. You should have educational background, of course, related to hospitality and tourism management, or if you don't have, at least 2 years minimum experience working in the industry of hospitality and tourism. This is for another 1 year, same intake then, January, May, and September. Same tuition fee, 8,357.35. And the second semester, babayaran na again, installment pag nasa Canada na. Once you finish this program, you can apply in a convention or conference center, destination marketing, hotel industry, and tourism operations. Again, not only limited to this career opportunities. Now let me tell you. I know it's playing in your mind now. 8,357.35 Canadian dollars. Where am I going to get this money? I mean, this is too high. Okay? Understandable, that's the reality. But let me tell you that 8,357.35 is not that much, and it's worth it to invest this money in this journey of your study program in Canada. Okay. You invested 8,357.35 Canadian dollars. You apply for 1 year program. As a student, you can work part-time. Your study should be at least 2 to 3 days in a week, 3 to 5 hours lang. You're working 20 hours a week. During the holiday, you can work full-time. During the semester break, each semester you have 2 months. So in a year, parang 8 months lang kayo nag-aral, 4 months kayo naka-semester break. In that 4 months, full-time job kayo. So sa 1 year pa lang, kumita na kayo. Yung 8,357.35, saan na napunta yan? Kinita na yan in a few months pa lang na nag-aaral kayo at the same time nagtatrabaho kayo. Okay, we're talking an investment here. So we're expecting a return of investment. Nabawi mo na yung bumalang, di ba? Bumalik na sa return of investment na yan. Now, After that, you're eligible to apply for 1 year and 1 year work permit under the post-graduation work permit or PGW. In that particular 1 year time, you're going to work full-time, right? So, ikitain mo ba sa 8,357.35? Yes. Again, labis-labis pa. Sobra-sobra pa kasi 1 year ka mo full-time job. Now, okay, this is in terms of money, okay? Return of investment, bumalik ang pera sa'yo, sobra-sobra pa. Second thing, I'm telling you, this is a very good investment, not just in terms of money, because you're investing in your future. As a student, if you're married, you can bring your spouse with you while you're studying and they can work full-time. Hindi sila mag-aaral. So, ganun kaganda yun. Kumita ka na, nag-aaral ka, si husband or si wife naka-full-time job pa. Okay. You have children. Ang children is hindi pa more than 19 years old. Of course, sasama rin sa Canada. As a student pa lang ha, we're talking. These children can study for free until high school. Okay, once you get the residency in Canada. Okay. Pag nag-apply na kayo ng residency, then you get a permanent residence to Canada. Asa na yung 8,357.35 na in-invest mo? Malaki ba yan or maliit compared sa benefit na nakuha mo? O yung return of investment na bumalik sa'yo na sobra-sobra pa and a security for your future and your family. I mean, I don't think there's a much better opportunity now rather than being an international student in Canada. Okay? We are in the pandemic now. A lot of businesses shut down. Walang mga trabaho. Not in a couple of years, in 3 years' time, in 5 years' time, I don't think makakabangon ka ng Pilipinas. We're a very poor country. That's the truth. Okay? If we don't find ways, we don't, look for opportunities or options, walang mangyayari sa buhay natin. So, my point is, I hope you realize that if you think that investing 8,337.35 Canadian dollar is too much and impossible for you, then I don't know what is other options that we can give you at this time. Okay? In terms of admission requirements, okay? Admission requirements is very simple. We're not asking for any complicated admission requirements. If you're a high school graduate, you just need your Form 137 and your college diploma or your high school diploma. Okay? In terms of your K-12, K-12 graduate, K-12 POR, and K-12 diploma. If you are a college graduate, of course, you just need your college diploma and your college POR. In terms of the proof of English proficiency, like IELTS, PTE, Duolingo, we don't require it. Okay, walang IELTS, walang PTE, walang Duolingo. So very simple na. I don't think then na hindi nyo provide yung ating requirements because it's a very basic academic documents lang na kahit dito sa Philippines is ginagamit natin for enrollment. Now, I have a good news for everyone. Since you attend our webinar tonight with Fastway, we are awarding 1,000 scholarship. Okay? You want to apply to our school, then Fastway will facilitate, of course, the admission process and everything. And then we will give you immediately the 1,000 Canadian dollar. Malaking tulong na to kasi this is about 40,000 pesos na rin sa ating pera. Okay? Ang international study, walang nagbibigay ng full scholarship. So if the school gives you a certain amount, malaking tulong na yun. And it will be automatically deducted na kaagad sa first semester ninyo. Once we give you a letter of acceptance, kung tinatanggap na kayo na mag-enroll sa school, makikita niyo doon yung babayaran niyo sa semester, nakaless na ito makikita niyo, na in-award na sa inyo yung scholarship. I have mentioned earlier that we have world-class student services and career support. So what are the services we are providing our students? Okay, we have an academic advising and guidance. We have in career advising and co-op services, health and wellness, excuse me. We have in social activities, housing or accommodation, and airport pickup if you want, we can arrange that for you. And then of course, in your orientation, everything will be given to you. This is, if you can see here, this is a subway map to Toronto. Remember I was mentioning earlier how good the transportation in Toronto area. You can see here, there's lines. Kung makikita nyo yan, there's a yellow line, there's a green line, there's a purple line, and there's a blue line. So connected yan to one another. Ibig sabihin, if you choose to live here, somewhere here kasi mas mura, medyo malayo ng konti, you can see here kasi in the middle, the school is here. So ganun ka-accessible yung school natin. Once you get off the station, walking distance lang eskwelahan. So ganun siya ka-accessible. So you leave her on the other end here on the yellow line, doesn't matter. It would only take you half an hour going to the school. Again, this is very important kung gaano ka-accessible and transportation kung gaano ka-tagda. Why? Because ang pagtatrabaho ng part-time in Canada, of course, per hour yan. You'll get paid per hour, of course, palipat-lipat ka ng employer. That's how it works. Ngayon, kung hindi maganda ang transportation, let's say, you find a work here, somewhere here, in this area. And then the next work is dito ng Ponte and Royal York somewhere. Paano ka makaka-travel agad kung ang interval lang dapat nandito ka na within 15 minutes? Kung nasa countryside ka, again, location ng eskwelahan mo. Limited ang oras, buses lang ang available. Ang interval could be after half an hour or 1 hour pa. Paano mo gagawin yun? Hindi siya magiging efficient sa'yo. Tama? So yun ang advantage dapat na realize ninyo again kung gaano kaganda ang location natin. And then, etong train na to, of course, may oras din yan. So kung sa gabi, kung close na siya, don't worry, maybe until 11 or 10 p.m. or 12, there's a night buses na tumatakbo sa buong Toronto. Ang night buses na yan, of course, hanggang umaga, madaling araw. And then switching na ulit for the day buses. 24 hours in service. There's a day bus and there's night buses. Ganon kaganda again. Kasi kung makahanap kayo ng mga part-time jobs sa gabi, kailangan nyo rin ang magandang transportation. Kasi ang Canada is very malaki. Imagine mo, again, kung nasa countryside ka, wala kang sasakyan, ano ka magpabiyahe? As an international student, makakabili ka ba kaagad ng sasakyan? No, I don't think so. Right? So yun ang advantage natin in terms of the location sa transportation. Then, in terms of the career services support pa, ito yung mga pinoprovide natin help sa mga student. So, we have, of course, once you start your program immediately, we help you in personal branding, career development workshop, resume writing, course mock interviews. So, napakaganda kasi i-prepare kayo, no? Personal branding, sinong skalahan ang tutulong sa inyo in terms of this? Career development workshop. The workshop to, para i-develop kayo on how you're going to develop or build your career in the future. Resume writing. Turuan kayo magawa ng resume kasi very important po sa job application. Iba ang format ko ng resume. Second thing, mock interview. Ang interview, of course, could be intimidating kasi Canadian employers, it's your first time to be interviewed by Canadian, probably. So, na-practice na kayo ng school. Hindi na kayo masyadong mahihirapan. I-ready kayo. We will support you through the job application process. Ililink kayo sa lahat ng mga networking events, career fair, job fair, lahat ng job opportunities. So, ibig sabihin, mataas na kaagad ang possibility na makahanap kayo ng trabaho. Now, how much is the minimum wage in Ontario, in Toronto? So it's about 14.25 Canadian dollar. This is per hour, one of the highest paid minimum wage in the whole Canada. Isa rin to sa advantage ng studying, of course, in Toronto kasi mataas ang ating minimum wage. Parang dito sa ating provincial and city. So, ganun din siya. Again, as a student, you can work part-time, 20 hours per week, and work full-time during your semester break holiday. As a student, you can earn from 4,000 to 20,000 Canadian dollars per year. So, the good news for everyone. Since we have a partnership with Toronto School of Management, meron ng mga ready companies where you can apply immediately. Oh, so paano yan? Ang dami ng top line. Is there any reason pa ba na hindi kayo ma-assure na makakahanap kayo paagad ng trabaho pagkatalo kayo sa school namin? I don't think so. Again, location-wise, unparalleled access to the job opportunity. Career services, 100% kayo tutulungan. Prepare, ililink sa lahat ng mga job opportunities para makahanap ng trabaho. Plus, meron lang ready company where you can. Now, paano kayo makakahanap ka agad ng trabaho? Kasi binigay na lahat sa inyo eh. So, tip ko lang sa inyo, dapat open-minded kayo. As an international student, pagdating nyo doon, ang status ninyo, huwag nyo i-expect na ganoon din kung ano kayo sa Pilipinas. Kung mataas kayo dito, pagdating nyo doon, back zero tayo. So, ibig sabihin, ang mga makukuha natin mga job opportunity, hindi mga white-collar job. For example, waiter, waitress, okay? Cleaner sa mga hotel. Or any other part-time job could be none. Okay? Mataas ang bayad sa mga. Plus, kasi hindi naman ang minimum wage. So, hindi tayo dapat maging maarte. Kasi yung kikitain nyo sa mga ganitong trabaho, for example, manager kayo dito sa Pilipinas, hindi nyo kikitain dito yan. Okay? Hindi nyo kikitain, kung kikitain nyo doon sa mga ganitong trabaho in a part-time job na. So, dapat nag-realize ninyo yun. Kasi, kung ang attitude ninyo is hindi okay, then maghihirapan kayo. At the end of the day, you have a goal. And your goal, of course, is para makatapos ng pag-aaral ninyo to be qualified for the post-graduation work permit that will give you eligibility to apply for a permanent residency in Canada and the future. So, dapat alam ninyo kung ano yung goal. In terms of accommodation, of course, hindi lahat may relatives, kamag-anak, not a problem. We can help you. We have a website wherein bago kayo umalis, may visa na kayo, you want to check for accommodation, magpabook kayo, pwede. Okay, it's housing at Niagara College Toronto.ca. Now, once nandito na kayo sa website, it will give you two options. There is CASA Toronto and there is Worst A Canada. We have a partnership with these two companies for accommodation wherein wala na silang in a deposit or advance payment sa inyo. Okay, so malaking tulong yun. Kasi kung hihingan pa kayo ng 1 month deposit, 2 months advance, for example, ang accommodation is $500 Canadian. Magkano ba bayaran nyo? Triple, right? So since wala na, 500 lang. Makakatipid na kayo. And then, ang maganda pa, free ang cancellation. So meaning to say, pag nandun na kayo, let's say 1 month na kayo nakatira dun sa inyong accommodation from here sa Philippines bago kayo travel to Canada, of course, na-explore nyo na ang Toronto. Ano na, nakita nyo na lahat. Nakakilala ng mga Pinoy. Ay, mas mura dito. If you want to join us, you can live with us, blah, blah. You can leave anytime. Okay? Walang cancellation fee na babayaran. So, ganun kaganda yung partnership natin dito sa First Day Canada and sa Toronto, which is a big help na ibibigay namin sa inyo as our student. Now, we go to the, how does the post-graduation work permit works? Excuse me. For example, nakatapos kayo ng 1-year program natin, it will give you the same duration. So, 1-year study, 1-year work permit. Yan na siya nag-work. Now, if you're undergraduate, course yung 2 years ang ating program na Business General, it will give you an eligibility to apply up to 3 years na rin po na TGWP. Now, gusto mo, paano kaya yun? Eh, gusto ko is up to 3 years din ang TGWP. O, 1 year lang in-apply ko sa Pilipinas. Walang problema. Pagtapos ng 1-year program mo, pwede kang mag-apply sa amin din ng second program or any other school in Toronto. You apply for a second program, huwag ka muna mag-apply nito ng TGWP kasi one time na ang application ito. Then, naging 2 years na rin, madali lang to onshore application, visa extension pag nasa Canada, na-approve siya kaagad. Then, pag naka 2 years na kayo, dahil nag-second program kayo, they'll give you an eligibility na rin to apply up to 3 years po ang TGWP. Now, if you're going to tell me, gusto ko sana insist ko na 1 year lang talaga at 2 years from the Philippines para secured ako ng 2 years na visa. Kailan I-tell you kung bakit mas practical ang 1-year program. Kasi yung 1-year program, nakabail ka na again ng TGWP. And pagdating mo doon, depende yan sa magiging circumstance mo. Hindi mo alam ando na lahat ng possibilities na pwedeng mangyari sa'yo. Okay? Let's say nalakad in 1 year yung permanent residency mo. Oh, so paano yun? Di okay ka na dito. Eh, nag-apply ka pa ng 2 years from the Philippines pa lang. Pag-force ka pang kumuha ng 2 years, magbabayad ka pa ng tuition fee. Hindi ka naman pwede mag-awol. Sisirain mo yung application mo ng visa. Okay? Kung bagay na mag-disqualify ka sa application ng permanent residency. Sure. So yun ang practicality ng 1 year program. Again, you always have an option pagdating doon to apply for a second year. Kasi I know marami magtatanong yan mga. So ito, and-explain ko na sa inyo how it works. Kung di pa rin nyo naintindihan, then we can discuss it later on sa question and answer. So paano nag-work yan? Again, para sa application ng express entry or for the permanent residency in Canada. So you study, you get a points for education, and then of course, you get a points for the post-graduation work permit, that's the work experience in Canada na. So ito na yung magiging ticket ninyo for the application for the permanent residency. So ganun kaganda ang student pathway. Kasi nga, sabi ko nga sa inyo, kung sasabihin niyo, di mag-direct application na lang ng work. No, eh di kung madali lang po, ang direct application ng work, I don't think aaten pa tayo ng webinar na because we know that's not that easy to apply for a direct job in Canada. So this is the best pathway again for you to come to Canada to study, work, and live. Okay? So this is the end of my presentation. If you have questions, then you can ask it.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. May, for the wonderful presentation. And then I would like to recap regarding Ms. May, why we start our life in Canada. So in Canada, applying for Niagara is no application fee and no IELTS. You have Grad $1,000 Canadian deductible in your 1 semester. And then the course is post-grad work permit program. And also, we can bring our spouse and kids. Then, Fastway for permanent residency. Kids is free education. So, for one-on-one consultations, please provide your email address, contact number, and we will discuss about the tuition fee, the medical, visa fee, processing fee, and bringing the family in Canada. So, our consultation is free. Okay, let's start with question. Open your mic and just ask a question if you have a question. Okay? Everyone, do you have a question? Just open your mic if you have a question.
Okay, so good evening,
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ikaklaro ko lang po,
Sige pa.
yung quarterly na tuition is 8,357.35 Canadian dollar.
That's for 1 semester po.
That's for 1 semester.
Yes po.
Okay po. So, bali, in 1 year, 2 semester po ba?
Yes po. Up in 1 year. Miss May?
Sir?
Miss May, open your mic, Miss May. Miss May, naka-mute ka.
Ilang semester ang 1 year?
I'm sorry, I keep on talking, nakamute pala ako. Let me answer that for you, Betsy, okay? So, 1 year po natin, we have 2 semesters, okay? So, ibig sabihin, ang babayaran mo lang yung 8,000 is for first semester. So, ang total na 1 year is about 7,000. Okay, so ibig sabihin, kalahati lang yung binayaran mo. Whereas, yung kalahati, babayaran mo na sa second semester sa Canada.
Okay, another question? Okay.
Ganun siya nag-forward.
Thank you po.
Okay, another question? Okay. Just send your question here. Okay, Miss BC. May question na ba?
Ako, sir, ha?
Sige pa.
Bali po, ang 1 year po sa equivalent po sa Philippine peso is around 600 po ata, 650, something.
Yeah, depends sa exchange rate yan. So, premise, 300,000 yung buwan ka na. Yun lang ang babayaran, in ito apply for
Kasi tinatanong ko lang po para at least po malaman naman po ilan po talagang pera sa kailangan. Thank you po.
You're welcome po, ma'am.
Salamat po.
Any more question on the other? Okay.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening,
Yes
Miss.
po.
Miss Ka.
Oo. Itatanong ko lang din kasi if ever na isama yung spouse, di open work permit siya. Tapos, ano ang duration ng kanyang open work permit?
Kung gano'n po kayo yung katagal, gano'n din po. Sinasabi.
Kung katagal ng schooling.
Ako, schooling and work permit kasama. So, bali di ba 2 years kayo? Kasi may work permit kayo 1 year. Same din, as long as nasa Canada kayo, kasi dependent po yung sa spouse, entitled po to stay with you as long as nasa Canada.
Tama ka.
Oh, okay. So, pag na siya, nag-work na siya, pwede pa rin, okay pa rin yung stay ng spouse.
Yes po. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good day.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Meron ako certificate from the US. So, kailangan pa ba na i-retrieve ang certificate galing naman siya from US?
For what